Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about American Psycho, and this movie stars Christian Bale, Jared Leto, Willem Dafoe, and so what the story here is, it's about a character named Patrick Bateman who is a psychopath. And that's pretty much the movie. And he's played by Christian Bale, and Christian Bale is excellent in this movie, and I really can't imagine anyone else pulling off what he did. And he's perfectly cast in this role. And I thought he was really great. And there's so much that he adds to his character when he's crazy and being a psychopath and killing people. And the expressions he gives on his face, how he portrays himself in the public eye, and how he is in his head. All of it is excellent. I love all of that. And the main core of the movie is that it's a character study. Basically, having us dissect what Patrick Bateman is as a character, and you learn a lot about him, how he feels about people looking at him in the public eye, and the way he wants to be seen in the public eye is him just fitting in with everyone else, and he also wants to feel as though he's like a perfect person, like there's nothing wrong with him and nobody is better than him, and he hates it when people make fun of him, and when that does happen, he begins to snap, and it doesn't end well. And of course, this character does kill a lot of people in this movie, but it's never because he just kills people because he can kill people. No, he kills people so he can feed his own ego. And he also kills certain people who have made fun of him. And those people especially are the ones he goes after. And as the movie goes along, it just gets crazier and crazier. And now, me describing this movie, you might think that it's a horror movie in terms of genres. But this is actually also a comedy, because the way it decides to approach every different aspect of this character, it's also in many ways comedic. And he has some really funny lines in this movie, and there's some imagery in here that is both horrifying but also some imagery that is hilarious. Especially some lines of dialogue. Unfortunately, I can't tell you any of these great memorable moments are, because that would spoil the movie, but what I will say is that they're great. I haven't even mentioned Willem Dafoe yet. He was great in the movie as well, and he's basically just trying to figure out who would kill, whose story is true, and he's kind of, in some ways, investigating Patrick Bateman. But Patrick Bateman kind of uses him to figure out what he knows about what he's investigating, because what he did in the movie connects to what he's looking into, without spoiling anything. And Willem Dafoe is great in this movie. He has some funny lines, and I love Willem Dafoe. He's a great actor. Jared Leto is really good in this movie, even though he's not in it a lot. But when he's on screen, he is really good in the movie. This is the second time that I've seen this movie, and upon revisiting it this time, there wasn't anything that dragged for me, and I loved it the first time, don't get me wrong. But I did notice little tiny details that were just sprinkled in throughout the movie, and I did feel as though that helped my experience watching it this time. And one thing that I love about this movie is that the pacing in this movie is really great. It never feels slow, it never drags. You're constantly learning things as the movie goes along, and it's never boring. When it wants to be funny, it's really funny. And when it wants to embrace horror, it does that really well. And I haven't seen a movie combine horror and comedy this well since probably Evil Dead 2. I think my favorite movie that combined both of those elements the best would be The Lighthouse from 2019, but we'll talk about that another time. This movie, it did a really great job portraying both of those genres together. My only issue with this movie is that there was one performance in the movie that I felt was pretty weak, and that would be it was the woman who played Patrick Bateman's fiance in the movie. I didn't think she was great. For most of it, she was fine, but there's one scene where she's supposed to be crying and I didn't see any tears. And that took me out of it. But in terms of issues, that's it. This movie is a blast to watch for me. And the ending is, I can't say what it is, but it is a very good ending. And in case anyone's wondering, I have not seen American Psycho 2. And I don't really want to, but I might watch it one day. Just because I'm a little curious. So those are my thoughts on American Psycho. It's a great movie, has great jokes, a really fantastic performance from Christian Bale. It's a great character study. It really explores Patrick Bateman's character thoroughly. You understand him as a person. You can interpret his character in more than one way, which is something that I really love. And there's a lot to take away from this movie. And for those reasons, I love it. And I'm going to give American Psycho a 10 out of 10. Really love it. I had one minor issue with the movie, but that is not enough for me to take off a point for it. So those are my thoughts on American Psycho. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of American Psycho down below. And my social media links will be in the description down below, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation. And I'll see you when I get my next review up. And that is going to be for a movie that I just saw recently, but I would love to talk about it. Spartacus. I'm very excited to talk about that movie. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.